Hi everyone, my name is Val Desamore. This is my presentation for EDL 856 Module 1, Various Communication Forms. A little bit about me. I went to St. John's University in 2005. I got a BA in Communications. After St. John's, I was offered a media sales position at a company in New York called Katz Media. Although I really enjoy sales, it was not my passion, so I went back to school and I got my master's from Fordham University in New York, and I got my master's in counseling. So I am now licensed to work in New York State, in New Jersey, as a school counselor. And currently I am working at Livingston High School in Livingston, New Jersey as a school counselor. And before that, I worked at Union High School for 7 years as a school counselor. So I have a total of about a little bit over 10 years of school counseling experience. Just some personal information about me. So most people call me Val, which is my nickname. I grew up in New York City, but I currently live in New Jersey. I love to travel the world, as you can see at the bottom. I love cruising. I've been to a lot of countries in Europe. I've been to Spain, Italy, Portugal. Actually, over the summer, I have a big trip to Paris and Italy that I'm going to for the summer for about 12 days. I'm really looking forward to that. And also there's a picture of my niece to the right hand corner over here. And my niece is 10 years old, and I absolutely adore her. Besides traveling, I enjoy running, listening to music, going to concerts, shopping, reading. Love to watch, and I don't play tennis, but I love to watch. And I also love to stay on top of current events. And now for the actual presentation on forms of communication. So here are some form of communications that we actually use at Livingston. So we are a very, very high functioning district. I have to say, we are top in the state of New Jersey, and I know communication is very, very big for us. We have all sorts of technology that you can think of. So here are the different forms of communication that we use in our district to communicate with teachers, staff, and parents. So in terms of oral communications with staff and parents, I call parents when I need to. I pick up the phone and call parents. Email is very big for us. We are very, very email heavy. Every information goes out through email or newsletter. We're big on newsletters these days. Text alert systems, especially when we have like a snow day coming up or something's happening in the district. So a text message alert goes out to everyone's cell phone. Again, phone call, a Zoom call. Since COVID, Zoom has become very popular for us. I still use Zoom for my meetings whenever a parent can't come in, so I still use Zoom. I can meet with the parent, if we want to have some sort of a face-to-face contact. Remind, teachers use it. I use it to communicate with students, to remind them of meetings. Schoology is where teachers post homework. Starting next year, we're going to be using Schoology a lot more, so that way everything can be in one place. So right now we're using Schoology in Google Classroom to do homework and classroom stuff, but right now I think Schoology, we're like rolling over to Schoology full-time next school year. Naviance is what we use as counselor for college and career planning. So that's a big tool for us. Google Classroom, we use that a lot. But as I mentioned before, Schoology is going to take over Google Classroom, so Google Classroom won't be as much anymore. Facebook, I know that the district has a Facebook page, so a lot of parents love to keep up with the district news via Facebook and also Twitter. So which tools are provided to us? All the tools that are mentioned are provided to us by the district. So we don't have to spend anything out of pocket for any of the tools that we use. And there might be some tools that I may not be aware of that we use, but these are all the ones that we have. And honestly, I don't spend any money for anything that we have. in a staff, if we feel that there is something out there that we can use as a form of communication tool, we can actually bring it up to our supervisors, and the district can look into it to see if it is something that can be useful for us in a school. So we never really have to pay for anything. Any tools that you wish you could use but you can't? Honestly, no. I think that we have so much already, so I don't think there's anything that would make a difference. Maybe there is, and I'm looking forward to see what else anyone else in this class is using in their district, so maybe I can pick up some ideas from there. But as of right now, I can't think of any. As mentioned, I think we have a lot of different communication tools and we use all of them. Next year, again, the district is actually getting rid of Google Classroom, and we're going to focus more on Schoology when it comes to like posting assignments for our students. So full Schoology next year. And I really think that our district doing a really, really excellent job when it comes to communicating with our families, our students, our staff, and the entire community. As a building leader, I think, here are some ideas that I have to introduce myself to my staff, from reading the articles. I picked up on the fact that sharing my story is a really, really good way to connect with people. Everyone has a story, and I'm very personable, so I would like someone to get to know me for who I am. So I would love to share my story and talk about the things that I am passionate about and my journey so far and what makes me decide to go into a building, administration position. And also getting to know my team. The same way I spend a lot of time getting to know my student as a counselor, because it means a lot to me to develop that rapport with my students. And I would like to have the same with my staff as well. So as adults, I think maybe organizing a staff barbecue, just so as a way to kind of mingle with each other and get to know one another. I think it's a good way to get to know people is through food and maybe cocktails here and there, but who knows, right? Setting your expectations, right? What do you want to accomplish? Like, what would I want to accomplish as a leader? I think it's important for my team to know what I expect from them, and I also want them to know what they expect from me as well, and what are the intentions for the team. Also, it's important to be positive. If you're coming in as a negative person, you set a negative tone, and you're not going to have a positive experience. So you want to come in and be positive, and so that way you could set up a positive experience for your staff. And that's the kind of person that I am. Keeping a line of communication open so that way your staff can feel comfortable coming to you if there is an issue, and also create that open door policy. Right now I have an open door policy with my students, so I would love to create the same with my staff. And maybe making a TikTok. I know that nowadays, TikTok is very popular. It's a really good way to connect with the kids and the staff, so maybe something kind of fun to do just to kind of keep something fun going for our staff. District strategies for communication. So we have 24 hours to respond to any emails that we get from parents, students. So the district has 24 hours, to respond to those emails, whether it's a phone calls as well. Emails between teachers and students should really only be sent using the district's email system. So just make sure that, we are staying professional in that aspect. Teachers shouldn't be giving kids their email addresses or phone numbers, so keep it professional. Teachers and students shouldn't be texting each other. Strictly prohibited. And also teachers are prohibited from communicating with kids, via social media as well. So these are some of our policies that we have in terms of communicating with students, and just try to keep it professional. In terms of correlation, I think this assignment absolutely correlates with the standards. The resources that were provided really increased my knowledge to all the different types of communication tools and how important it is, to make a first impression. And as a future building leader, I know how important it is to communicate clear expectations to staff, and it's important to provide a really, really good, supporting, and positive environment, which is I currently do for my students as a school counselor. Just relevancy. I think this assignment is really relevant to, again, my current learning as a school counselor and my future role as a building leader. And while I was working on this assignment, it really gave me an opportunity to kind of reflect on the different ways that I communicate with my students, my parents, and my colleagues. And I really do think that it's important to keep that line of communication open with everyone, because that's a really, really good way to build trust, right? And it shows that you're really interested in kind of building a partnership with the people that you work with. And then as I'm, reflecting on what I'm doing right now and the work that I do with my students and looking at the future, it's really important to establish an effective communication with the staff, with the students, with the parents, with the stakeholders, and also all the members of the school community. I do have to say that, where I work at Livingston, it's a really good ways when it comes to communicating information to students. We're very, very good at that. We communicate things very well. So as a district, we're always reflecting on different ways that we can, make our communication better and to be more effective. So as I mentioned previously, I have an open door policy right now with my students, so I would love to do the same when I do become a building leader. Again, this was a great assignment that kind of increased my knowledge in all the aspects of, creating a good line of communication. And I'm really looking forward to learning more from my classmates and on all the different type of communication tools that they are using in their school district. And that's the end. Thank you so much.